In this episode, how to solve compound inequalities. Coming up, back into action. Hey guys, today I will show you how to solve a compound inequality. Suppose you are given something like this. So the idea is, all you do is just split up your compound inequality into two separate linear inequality. So your compound inequality basically is made of two inequalities, and all you want to just write them out separately down below. So you could look at this just by hiding, let's say, this left part. So your first inequality would be 2x minus 1 less than or equal to 19 if I just remove this part, alright? And now if I just hide this right part, so the second inequality is just 2x minus 1 greater than or equal to 7. Now we broke it up into two separate linear inequalities, and all you need to do is just solve them out separately down below. And if you need help with just linear inequalities, you could check out my playlist on inequality where I have different separate videos on different types of inequalities, linear, quadratic, and you could check them out later. Now the way you solve normal linear inequality is just similar to what you do with linear equations. So you want to basically separate your variables and numbers. You want to add 1 to both sides of your inequality, so it becomes just 2x. So, and you keep the sign as this. So here, negative 1 and 1 so go away, they disappeared, and since 19 plus 1 gives you 20. And finally, the last step, you want to separate your x. You want to get x alone. So anything that attach your x, divide it out. So get your x alone. So you divide by 2, and you do it to both sides of your inequality, and you will be left with x less than or equal to 10. Since 20 divided by 2 leaves you 10. Alright, I will just circle it at this point. We're not done yet. We have to do the same thing. We have to solve the second linear inequality in the same way. So we want to add 1 to both sides of your inequality. Here 1 drops out, disappeared, goes away, and you will be left with 2x. Drop it down, you keep the sign, and 7 plus 1 gives you 8. And finally, the last step, similarly, we want to get x alone. So divide through by 2, this coefficient in front of x. And you will be left with x greater than or equal to 4. Now, look at these two inequalities. They are already your solution. But at this point, I would join them as a one solution. So you could write it as a double inequality. Something like this, what we were given at the beginning. So you could simply write x less than or equal to 10. And x is greater than or equal to 4. That one would be your final solution set for that compound inequality. Notice that compared to equations, the solution for inequality, it's not just a single or two numbers, it's a set basically. Generally speaking, it's a set of numbers. So in this case, it's a segment, it's all the real numbers x that satisfy this double inequality. So from 4 all the way through till 10. We're done, and again, this is your final answer. Now I would like to show you kind of shortcut for this one, kind of another way of solving this compound inequality. So, or let's say you are given, let me just write it down again. So 2x minus 1 greater than or equal to 7. Basically, you could solve it at one go, simultaneously, at one fell swoop. So you don't need basically for this one to separate it like I did before. So it would be faster. Let's see. So just think and look at this at a complete one inequality. So you want to get your x in the middle alone. So your aim to get just x alone. So isolate x here in the middle. And you are going to kind of implement these steps, but to kind of three sides. To the left, to the right, and middle. So since we have this negative one, this one kind of subtracted off, so we want to untangle, so we want to implement the inverse operation. So we want to add basically 1 to these three sides, let's say. So you want to add 1 to the left, to the right, and to the middle. All right? So it becomes just 8 to x, negative 1 and 1. So basically what we wanted. Cancel each other out, goes away, disappeared. And on the right side, you would have 20. And finally, the last step. So we want to get x alone. Again, isolate x. Make x as a subject, as a formula, if you will. So divide through by whatever attaches your x. So in this case, it's 2 divided through. But all these sides, left, right, and middle, because we don't want to change the overall value of your inequality. So what we do to one side, we have to do to others. Keep it balanced. So, and you would be left with, here we have x, 4, and 10. That basically was expected. It's precisely the same answer what we had before. So either way is fine, and as you see, this kind of shortcut, it's literally shorter, and you already got your answer into this double inequality form, into this compound form. Pick your choice, take your pick. Alright, let's handle one more. Suppose you are given something like this. It's a little bit different from what we did before, since you have a number and not an expression involving in x in the middle. However, the same steps applied over here. So you want to split it up. You want to separate it into two linear inequalities. So your first one inequality, let me hide this part. So you could start with this part, doesn't matter which part you start off. So let me hide this part. So it becomes just the first one, 3x plus 2 less than 20. This is the first inequality. And the second one, so you are going to hide that part, and I'm going to switch the order and rewrite it in the reverse or inverse order. So it's going to be 5x minus 4 greater than 20. Now, all you do is just solve them separately down below. And the way you would do is just normal linear inequalities. So you typically subtract 2 in this case from both sides. Let me just do it quickly. So it becomes just 3x less than 18. And the next step, you divide by this 3. So you want to get rid of this 3, isolate it. So your x is less than 6. And for the second one, so the same steps, you want to add 4 to both sides. You undo this subtraction by adding. So the next line, drop down 5x, drop down the sign, and it's 24. And all you need to do is just divide by 5 both sides. You want to isolate this x greater than 24 over 5. Since 5 does not fit into 24 like the whole number of times, so you would have this fraction, doesn't matter. It's still answer, it's still number, so. And we could basically join these two solutions and write your answer within this double inequality. So your x is less than 6 and greater than 24 over 5. So this is your final solution for that one. Well, we're done technically, but at this point I would suggest you to do a little bit kind of checkout if you wish. Look at this number, 24 over 5, and this is improper fraction, and we could just get the whole part since 5 goes into 24 4 times, leaving 4/5. So it's the same as 4 and 4/5. Look at this axis. So all your real axes lie between that number and this number. So generally speaking, there are infinitely many axes. So infinitely many real solutions. So the solution set is made up of all these real axes. But there is only one whole number that belongs to this solution set. And you could spot it, this whole number, easily. It's obviously 5, right? So let's pick this 5. So if my x is 5, which satisfies this equation, this inequality to be precise, and let's just kind of check out, and let's just plug it into the original inequality and check to see if it works. So you would simply get 3 times 5 plus 2, and I will just put a question mark over here. Is that true or not? And here as well. 5 times 5 minus 4. Let's just check to see if it works. So 15 plus 2, 17 is less than 20. And since 5 times 5 gives you 25 minus 4, 21. And as you see, your 20 is precisely between 17 and 21. So 20 is less than 21, but greater than 17. So it does work. So just kind of to be sure that we get the correct answer. Except 5, you could pick other numbers and also do this check out, but this 5 is a whole number. That's why basically I went for this 5. Alright, so I hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching and train your brain. I know everyone hates maths, but if you like my video, please hit like, share with your friends, leave the comment down below, and be sure to subscribe so you will not miss out my new videos.